let's go over how I was able to catch these trades on stream while trading gold. Let's get straight into it. So first off, this is a failed break structure here, and I'll go over the problem and mistake I made on this day actually. So you guys can read through all this text here if you want to. I'm going to delete all of them here because I just write them here so I remember what to say on the videos and remember the trades exactly. So let's go back in replay mode here and see what's going on here. So my problem here on this day trading was that my draw was higher towards this high here. All right, so that was my draw initially. But one thing I did notice here when it comes to basically trading towards my draw is we did a mitigation cycle here, which is okay, right? So we made this low. This low here should now make a new high. Okay, if we want to draw here, but we did not. We failed to make another high twice. So we failed to make a high twice. That's a failed breaker structure to me. And so that means this low here is weak. That's why, again, I'm trading towards this low here. So what am I doing here? Well, look, we trade towards that low. Now, if you go to the 5 minute, this probably looks a lot more cleaner, right? First failure, second failure, boom. This is a weak low. Now, what I didn't see and notice here was there's a low here, which should have been weak as well here because this entire thing failed. And so we failed to basically go towards my draw on liquidity here. So it's more likely price is going to go bearish from here. So I did fail to switch my bias and understand that and accept the fact that this origin is very likely to not hold. So my target here on this trade, even though it did go in profit, like a good amount through a sword, it ultimately failed and it went break even because of it. And it is what it is, just because I did understand the fact that my stop loss was also not covering the PY below. So there's a chance we do come back to this PY and then go higher. And so that's why I went to break even. But because of this failed break structure, I'll take a stop on our setup here. So let me have my indicator real quick so you guys can see everything more clearly here. All right. Yeah. All right. I'll have the indicator. This internal high made an internal low break. Right. There's a very small pullback, but these are all small pullbacks here in this leg anyway. Stop hunter entered here, covered the PY here. So the PY here I covered was right here just because it's so close to price. You can do this if you want to, but again, the risk reward is already good enough here for this reward, and it's so close to PY. I want to cover the PY at least here. So for this reward here, I took this here, entered here, stop loss basically at the PY here, right here. Again, you can cover all this if you want to as well. It's up to you. It's a 1 hour difference. Just keep that in mind. TP. Well, you can TP either at, like I said, the lows, which are weak now, or at the origin. So I TP'd at the origin. Then looking in hindsight, I should have held towards my full draw, full new bias because this failed break structure. But again, I failed to recognize this low here, and I was only looking at these lows here. So forward sword here, and then second trade here was off the origin here. Now this was the mistake. Like I said, failed break structure, but I was so stuck up on my long bias that I want to take a long here to make this new high at least, or even take out this high above. So I basically took the OB entry model. Was this OB entry model? Let's see. No, sorry. I missed the OB entry model. The OB entry model is here or here. I missed it. And so I took a stop hunter here. This low made a new high. Is your stop hunter internal sweep here. And I took that. And then obviously my TP was too far, as you can see. It did run, like I said, 2 to 5 minute PY, 3-year sword, which is a very nice 4 plus 3, that's 7. But I stuck to my system and I messed up actually. So technically this was kind of like an emotional-ish mistake that I was too blindsided. Even though I knew from a technical perspective, we did have this FBOS. So keep that in mind next time when I trade. And because of my bias being stuck up, I traded this here for a -1 RR because I switched to micro chart just to see what's going on here. We usually will have a PY here, but it was kind of surprising that we did not here. That's why I was kind of shocked. Actually, did we? Hold on. Ooh, we might have. You see, barely mitigated. I can't really tell, but the indicator I think didn't mark this, so I assumed this was fully mitigated. But nonetheless, even if there was a PY here, I took a loss here, taking this like impulse model. Entered it a little bit later. Should have been here for impulse model. Could have been actually a better potential break-even point for me, but I entered there, so I made a mistake here, and I took a -1 RR here. Again, same draw on liquidity. So that ultimately failed, and we did eventually go for that low here, this low here, and I don't recall if we held this supply or demand, 30-minute demand or not here. But nonetheless, point is that should have been my draw here. I messed up by not, fully sticking to what the technicals were telling me, instead getting blindsided by what I was thinking personally, instead of letting the market also tell me where it wants to go based on its market clues. So the best way to trade this day, if I was trading it correctly with no execution errors, would be taking an entry here. So whenever I find an OB entry model, I believe the first one here, I'm getting kind of just rushing through this real quick right now, but OB entry model, and then the ideal trade should have been like this. So it should have been a 4 risk reward and a 10 risk reward, 14 risk reward. But you can see there's a pretty big difference here if you mess up on your draw on liquidity. 14 risk reward versus only making 3 risk rewards. Pretty big difference, right? So just keep that in the back of mind next time when I trade. Be careful of failed rate structures. Keep that in mind when you trade next time and look for those. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.